Hello, everyone. Welcome to the CryptoCannaVerse, an international faith-based show where we help entrepreneurs within the 5 C's: Christ, cannabis, cybersecurity, and CPAs. We are entrepreneurs on a mission to help other entrepreneurs find their missing puzzle piece. Hosted by Crystal Wampler and Alan Lau. The CryptoCannaVerse Show is booked through the middle of September. But if you would like to apply to be a guest, or you would like access to our deal flow, please reach out to crystal@cannethics.com. Today's show is being live streamed across multiple platforms, including LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. Our network consists of business owners, Web3 launchpads, venture capital firms, family offices, high net worth CPAs, attorneys, investors, and angel investors. Before we introduce our guest speaker, Alan Lau, will you please present our Bible verse for discussion today?
Absolutely. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Happy Friday. Today's Bible verse is coming from Psalms 23, 5-6, and it reads, "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely your goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever." So this is definitely inspiring from a standpoint that God prepares pretty much everything for you. It's laid out on the table. He anoints your head with oil, and your cup will overflow as long as you continue to believe in him and you're part of the family. You will forever be full, and you don't have to worry about your days of your life. So I think this gives like everyone a peace of mind, knowing that as long as we trust in the Lord with all our heart, knowing that he will prepare every step of the way in your life. And with that, it just brings a lot of peace. It brings a lot of joy. It brings a lot of happiness, knowing that he's always there for you, and everything's prepared, and it's all part of God's plan.
Thank you, Alan, for sharing that. The CryptoCannaVerse Show presents speaker Davina Kaonohi, CEO and co-founder of Element Apothec. Today, Friday, June 23rd, 2023. Davina is a visionary founder, passionate entrepreneur, and dynamic leader with an exceptional ability to drive organizational success. Her unwavering dedication to creating positive change has made a profound impact as the driving force behind Element Apothec. As a strategic operational leader, Davina possesses a unique blend of skills in leadership development, business strategy, and active management, enabling her to navigate organizations towards growth and sustainable achievement. With a natural talent for team building and a keen eye for talent, she assembles high-performing teams capable of delivering remarkable results. Guided by her vision, and fueled by her passion, Davina has transformed Element Apothec into a thriving force in the wellness and clean beauty industry. Through its range of functional cannabinoid products, comprehensive wellness education, and vibrant community, Element Apothec has become a catalyst for transformative well-being. Davina's impact-driven approach, characterized by integrity and compassion, sets a new standard of excellence and innovation in the industry, propelling Element Apothec towards a future of purposeful growth and positive change. Welcome, Davina.
Hi, thank you. I think I'm done. You just covered everything.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Can you tell us a little bit about Element Apothec?
Yeah, aside from what you just shared, Element Apothec is a brand at the forefront of the evolution of wellness and beauty. And we have this, our vision is that we imagine a world in which the oneness of nature and science help people live their best life. So our goal really is to help people live life better. And that happens through functional products through education, through research and services that we provide, really bridging that gap between ancient wisdom of plant-based medicine and modern science with the innovations in science and access to even specific cannabinoids and ingredients to create the best products.
Thank you. Is that what, that's several ways of how you differentiate, but could you elaborate a little bit on how you differentiate yourself from other CBD companies?
I mean, I think in terms of how we differentiate, there's a couple of things that come to mind. One is just the basis of how we started. We didn't start because we were coming in trying to capitalize on the CBD market. We came into the market because our products initially helped my great aunt. She started the formulations initially of these products to help her with many medical conditions and autoimmune diseases and was looking for some symptom relief. And so we started out of a need, and we've continued to build out of helping people with the needs that they have. The other thing is, as we've developed and grown, we, started our core team. Our co-founder, Dr. 𝐂𝐨-𝐼𝐻𝐸, is an integrative pharmacist. And we've really made an effort to bring the science aspect into the business and the research and knowledge. We've built an incredible and extensive medical advisory board ranging from a dermatologist to 𝐂𝐫-gynecologist to a neurologist, other pharmacists, integrative medical doctors, gastrointestinal doctor as well. So we really have looked to the experts to say, okay, we have these products, we have access to these ingredients. How do we put them all together to create the best products? And then how do we educate not only consumers, but practitioners to really understand how these products and these ingredients can work alongside some of the other more traditional medicines that might be required for patients?
Yeah, that's so important that you're including the doctors and you're actually educating the public. Are other CBD companies doing this?
There are some CBD companies that are out there that are also focused on education and some research, but not to the extent that we're doing and not with the type of support that we have. We even recently launched an education platform, which is pretty extensive, and we make that available to our retail partners. We're providing it to practitioners for education. It's multi-module, video, interactive in terms of everything around cannabinoids, not just around CBD. We call it CBD for health and wellness, but it covers the endocannabinoid system in detail. It covers other cannabinoids, including THC and how they interact with the body, as well as other tips and modalities for wellness. So not other companies are going through this type of deep, exercise and extent to put that type of education out there, as well as the type of research as we start to prepare to move into clinical trials. It's one of the reasons that we're raising money, is really to be able to dive in and start to move forward in clinical trials and, being able to write white papers. And we've now recently started a focus group with our OB-gynecologist on sleep and how sleep and the benefits of sleep can help impact women going through menopause using our products. So those are the types of things that we're doing that I haven't seen very many companies either have the ability, because maybe they don't have the support to do it, or just aren't spending the money other than just focused on selling their products.
I have to agree with you. I haven't seen very many companies doing a holistic approach as well. You mentioned that you have one of your partners, Dr. Swathi. Can you elaborate a little bit about all of your partners?
Yeah, so there's 3 core co-founders. That's myself. And then we have David Crowther, who's our COO. And he manages all of our manufacturing, logistics, also our marketing, responsible for the beautiful branding that we have as well. And then on the other side, Dr. Swathi leads all of the product formulations, development, research, education. And so the 3 of us are a pretty powerful team in terms of the spread that we have of our depth and experience. And then that's supported by additional executive management. We have someone, Charlene Estrada, who's come in to really help us fine-tune all of our project management and operations and staying on target with our goals. quarterly goals and annual goals and meeting our strategy plan, support of a functional CFO as well, fractional CFO. And then we have an amazing advisory board that really supports across all of the departments, whether that be finance or research or marketing, messaging, and each of them contribute a certain amount of hours per month to help build the business.
That's wonderful. It sounds like you have a truly comprehensive team working with you. Can you tell us, why would investors want to invest in Element Apothec? Other than the amazing things that you just shared with us, is there anything specific that you would like to share?
And I think, Element Apothec is really at the forefront of pushing what a brand in the wellness space, especially in the cannabinoid space, is capable of doing. And that isn't just investing in a company that can create great products, but we can, alongside, create research. We can partner with biotech companies even and help them lead their research and development efforts, help them to create products. And we have had companies come and are looking to us to help them formulate their products and not wanting to just pick a product out of a catalog that would be similar to other products. And we have the ability to really help educate. So what an investor gets with Element Apothec is a company that has the ability to produce revenue in multiple categories and multiple verticals. And that's different than a lot of the other brands that are out there that are just focused on a product only. We believe that having these services and this education will drive more revenue to the sales of our products and drive more brand recognition. So it all circles and creates this amazing synergy. That's
amazing. Brand recognition is extremely important. Can you touch a little bit as to why, David is a strategic partner, and a little bit about his background in marketing?
So David Crowther, he has a great background. He comes initially from the film and worked on several feature films, and really learned how to manage the entire production. So the logistics, but also the creative aspects in terms of what emotionally are people attracted to. He then transitioned that into working with brands and doing commercials and other marketing and advertising, but having the ability to have a creative mindset, but while also being analytic and strategic. And so he brings that into Element Apothec and helped create the brand that we see and get a lot of positive recognition from the current branding. And really, the idea was creating a brand that feels comfortable for people, that feels safe, that could fit in multiple spaces. It could be in a doctor's office, it could be on the shelves of a retail store, and across all comfort levels of people, whatever gender they may be or preferences that they have. It's a product that can connect with everybody. And we get that feedback. So David's done a great job. He also utilizes his background in terms of our marketing messaging, and then obviously managing all of the operations and logistics from his experience managing large productions.
Thank you for elaborating on that. I've actually met David and seen some of his work, and he's won numerous awards, and he's just such a nice person, and so is Dr. Swathi. So thank you again for sharing that. I'm going to go ahead and pass the mic over to Alan.
Yeah, I have questions. Why are companies pushing more products in the cannabis industry when there's a lot of articles and news about the industry being saturated? That's the first question. What is your outlook, and what does the data tell us today?
It's an interesting time in the cannabis and CBD space because there's so many companies and so many brands, especially on the CBD space, that came in when the Farm Bill passed and the market was flooded. Many white label companies, many manufacturers, people could launch a product literally in like 20 or 30 minutes. And so you had so many companies hopping on the bandwagon. Similar in the cannabis space, you have people that came in with bright eyes and hopes to make a lot of money. And though there's still a lot of regulations and limitations, and it's difficult, it's costly, you have to be really specific on your marketing messaging. On the cannabis side, there's a lot of legalities. And so I think what's happened is just really a tightening of the entire ecosystem. You have a lot of brands that are closing because they came in not really understanding the market, thinking that it was going to be easy, thinking that sales were just going to flood in. And you did have some early brands have that happen. I mean, even still, you continue to see so many people just hopping on and trying to get into the industry. I do think, though, that outlook is positive as this happens, right? Because you're going to have the companies that have the staying power, that have the products that are really important, and people use these to improve the quality of their life, whether it's cannabis or CBD. It's not something that's going to go away as long as the legal structure and government doesn't have anything to do with that and continues to push positively for new laws and regulations to help support the industry. So I believe the outlook is good. It is a tough time. Every day you hear about brands shutting down and mismanagement of money, and that can feel, like, imagine, as an investment, that can feel questionable. But you also have to believe that industries across the board go through this. They tighten up. The brands that have the ability to stay, that have the ability to manage that, will be successful, because these are products that consumers are not going to stop using tomorrow. And if you look at the data shows continual growth year after year in terms of the revenue. I mean, it could be anywhere in 2030. I've seen, I think, anywhere from $30 billion to $50 billion growth in the CBD space. So there's significant growth opportunity. And also, if you look at the market, only I think there's like 3 or 4 brands that make up 7% of the CBD category. And so that leaves a lot of open space. It's very fractured. It's very unstructured. And so there's an opportunity for companies to continue to rise and gain considerable market share in this space. So we believe that it's a great opportunity to continue pushing forward.
Davina, if I can ask just a couple of questions before I have to run. Sorry to interrupt you, Alan. But you said something to the effect that you're going to begin clinical trials. Are these clinical trials with the aim of getting some sort of FDA type approval?
The FDA approval could be a long time coming. We're not counting on being able to do that. What we do want to do is start publishing white papers and really starting to put that research out there as we start to work with more practitioners. They really want to have some validation before they start recommending these products. And so we feel that it's a start. Eventually, in time, who knows how long the FDA will take to finally get on board. And that's obviously a process that we would be wanting to be involved in. But the purpose of it now is really to start getting more evidence-based research and being able to provide these practitioners that are looking for this information the ability to access the research and data.
Okay. From an investor perspective, if you're going to all the time and the expense of doing clinical trials, which are expensive, are there products that you have that you can potentially patent?
It's something that we've looked at and considered. It's tricky on the patent space, as I'm sure you know,
Yes.
because once you do put out the patent, you're also giving out the exact directions of your formulation, basically, on the products. And so, and with minor changes in it, somebody can replicate it. So we're cautious of it. Not that someone can't take our products now and break them down and figure out the formulations. We do really keep and manage the trade secrets of our formulations pretty tightly with our co-packer and anybody involved in the process currently right now. But we're looking at it. We're exploring the option of potentially patenting at least a combination that would be across the board in all of our products at this point.
Yeah, and obviously, there are various types of patents one can get. You can get a patent related to a specific formulation, or maybe you can get a patent related to a process. Mm-hmm. And if you have a particular process you use to derive those formulations, then patenting something like the process, provided that process is what the patent office calls non-obvious and unique, then you may have something that is valuable that in turn, based on the costs you have to go do all of this, you can potentially recoup some of that by enforcing other people who want to follow you to license your process.
Well, that's interesting. Thank you for sharing that.
Well, if anything, I'm not a lawyer. I just have been down the road a number of times. In terms of that patent process, both within the U.S. and internationally, and it's not something to consider lightly. It is expensive, and particularly as you go international, it becomes increasingly more expensive. And then even once you do get a patent, you have fees to maintain it. But if there is something unique that you believe you can license, then it becomes worth looking at.
Right. Yeah, thank you. I may have more questions at a later point for you about that.
Certainly. And Clayton may know more, he's an attorney, he may know more about the legalities of, patents than I do.
Well, Clayton is actually a tax and estate planning attorney. He's not a patent attorney, but he might very well know a little bit more, but I doubt that, Bob, because you're pretty sharp on that kind of stuff. Thank you, Bob, for your comments. And going back to, I have a quick question. Bob was saying something about, going internationally and it become more expensive. Are you international at this point?
Yeah, we've had the opportunity to expand globally. We are currently in Thailand. Our products were partnered with a company called the Beach Samui Resort that has one of the first actually cannabis licenses for a resort in Thailand. We're preparing to launch in Japan. And we were starting to launch in Europe, but the company we were working with had some financial issues. So we've stopped that business relationship. And now we're exploring a couple others potentially in Germany and in Switzerland. So it's something we see important. And as more countries come on board, allowing cannabinoid-based products to be accessible to their people, then it's something that we can bring the ability to bring not only the products and again the education, which is so important, especially in these countries that are launching where this is new. They don't really understand the products and how they work and why they work. I mean, we have the same issue here in the US, even though we're a little bit further ahead, but education still continues to be a big concern in terms of the adoption of the product. So we feel going into new spaces, new countries provides that ability to really combine high quality, trusted products, hoping to set a standard for what the types of products that are allowed there, and then also to bring that support of education.
Thank you for elaborating on that. I have one more question before I pass the mic over to back to Alan or Bob. And can you tell me about some of your products that you have currently?
Yeah, so we have a range of products. We have our wellness products, which is our tincture line. At this point, we are going to be launching some tablets and also capsules. That's part of what our funding will help us do. But the tinctures range in everything from general wellness, which the interesting thing or unique thing about our products is we're not just relying just on CBD, mixing it with oil and saying, here's a product, but we're looking at all of the functional ingredients. So our wellness tincture has turmeric, has peppermint, has lemon lime, CBD, CBG, and CBN in higher concentration. So we look to all of our products to do that. We have something that's for rest and recovery, and then also for calm and supporting some of the stressful moments that we all have. And then on the topical side, we currently have a Nourish Body Lotion. We also have a balm. And then we recently, or I guess it's not recent, it's been a bit, but we have our transdermal patch that's for relief. The cool thing with the patches, the company or manufacturer that we work with used to do opiate patches. and they realized that maybe that wasn't the best path that they wanted to continue down. So we've been working with them, but they do have a patent on the delivery mechanism, or one of the patents on the delivery mechanism of transmission through the transdermal patch. So people use the patch and they're like, it works. I'm like, yeah, it works, as we have a great manufacturer. And then we have what we call our Well Beauty, which we really believe is the idea of wellness, both inside and out. And so we have our face serum, and we'll soon to be launching a face lotion for that as well. We then finally have a new product, which I'm excited to announce. We're partnering with a uncaffeinated coffee company called 𝐿𝐻, and we're launching something called 𝐵𝐷𝐸, which is a midday pickup of uncaffeinated, but it's adaptogen-based uncaffeinated coffee along with the CBD. So we'll be launching that. We have the final packaging design, and at a recent trade show, started to put out the marketing information for that product.
Thank you for sharing. Alan, do you have questions, Bob?
I know I'm afraid I have to run, but great speaking with you, Davina, and look forward to continuing the conversation.
Yes. Nice to meet you as well.
How many countries
Thanks.
are you in right now, Davina, with your brand?
Right now we're just in Thailand. As I mentioned, we launched in Europe, but that company had financial difficulties. So we are looking for a new partner and in conversations with a couple now to relaunch. That would have been in 2 countries. And then Japan will be launching very, very soon. We've just signed the contract, and we'll be moving forward with that relationship.
What kind of partnerships are you looking for at the moment?
Yeah, we're looking for partnerships in anything from potentially doing similar type of co-branded product launches, and really looking for people that are experts in the product that they have in combination with what we have to create something like this uncaffeinated coffee product. Instead of us trying to recreate what somebody's already done successfully, we feel that's a better opportunity. We're also looking for additional partners that we can partner with on the education side. So, are there other companies, other brands that are looking to build out education? That's something that we can help support that, or combine efforts to have more powerful content and education around that. And then other strategic opportunities in terms of helping with retail expansion. That's a big goal of ours for this year and into next year, is to expand into retail. So whether that be a distributor or retail partner that we could work with is something else as well that we're looking to.
If you could choose a retail partner off of your wish list, what would that wish list look like?
It's fans aboard, and it depends, because because of the verticals, we're both in this well beauty space, and the partners there would be Credo or Ulta, as they have had acceptance of CBD and consumers are going and looking for those types of products. On the wellness side, our ideal partner is anything ranging from practitioners, medical offices is an ideal customer, because patients really do look to their doctors for the idea of utilizing these types of products. But then you have, stores like Sprouts and Erewhon, where consumers and Whole Foods are going in also looking for wellness products. So those are some of the stores that we're targeting. We are launching on the Vitamin Shop, which was one of the stores that was on our wish list. So we're excited about pushing forward with that launch. And then we've recently partnered with the Natural Grocery Co-op store in Sacramento, which is another group that's on our wish list, is the Natural Grocery Co-op markets, because again, consumers are going and they're looking for wellness products. They trust the vetting process of these markets. And we feel that that's an opportunity also to help provide education to the consumers that are there.
Thank you for elaborating. Alan, do you have questions?
Nope. That's all the questions I had.
So I have a few more. So, in the cannabis industry and CBD industry, and actually any business, some of the investors would always ask, are your books clean? Are you cash flow positive? What can you say about that?
I could say that our books are very clean. We have an amazing support around making sure that, we do everything right, that we manage all of the processes, that all of our filings, that everything is done. It's really important. I come from the startup space, and I've seen where companies have issues and that causes problems later on. So from the very beginning, we were really buttoned up and making sure that we crossed all of our T's and dotted all of our I's and seek legal advice. In terms of the cash flow, we are close to being cash flow positive, but we're not quite there yet, but we have a great path forward. We also just recently did an exciting project with UCLA through their strategic management research, which was a group of EMBA students that helped put together a strong business plan for us. It was a 6-month project. And so through that, we really were able to fine tune our financial structure, our marketing plan, our ability to get to a cash flow, and then what profitability looks like through the upcoming rest of this year as well as future years. And we feel confident that we can achieve that. And we have 2 models. We have a model if we're only able to get in a smaller amount of money and the work that we would need to do to really build out more retail partners. And then as we continue down our raise and we're able to secure more capital, what that trajectory looks like also. So that way we make sure whatever capital that we do bring in, or we are not able to bring in the amount that we initially want, that we still have a path to profitability and being cash flow positive, which is really important. And surprisingly, not very many companies in the CBD space have been able to get to that point.
No, that's so true. That is amazing. Your company is doing amazing things. I'm glad that you have a plan A and a plan B. That's how you survive as a startup. And then, can you tell me a little bit about what kind of investor or investment that you're looking for? And is that for equity? Is that for, what kind of ROI is that?
Yeah, so on the equity side, ideally, we're looking to raise 1.25, and that's on a 5 million valuation, which we readjusted from when we initially were talking about fundraising, just really being more realistic with the market and the growth opportunities of the space and where we are at as a company. So an investor can come in and really participate in the growth and success in a meaningful way in the company. And we're ideally looking to do that through equity, although we are also looking and having a conversation around some loan and some debt equity as well. So it may be a mix of both that we're exploring at this point, depending on the investor. In terms of the type of investor that we're looking for, we are looking for someone that can provide the capital, but also be a strategic partner. Ideally, we are still young, we're growing, we're open to input and valuing the success and experience that an investor has had with other companies to come in and help us not make the mistakes that they've seen happen before. And that's important. There may be, though, an investor that is more silent and just believes in the idea of the company, is passionate about wellness and making a difference in people's lives. We focus also on sustainability and social responsibility. And so there are conversations with some investors that are focused just on wanting to invest in those types of companies. So that's something that's important to us also, that investor is not just coming in just to turn a quick dollar, but they're really looking for the impact that a company can make on the consumer.
So long-term, strategic, passionate, well-oiled investor is what you would like to see. That's good that you're not just going for a quick buck, which makes sense because you actually got into the industry because of passion and purpose. And so I absolutely love that. Alan, do you have any more questions? Does anybody have questions?
Yeah, that money, can you kind of repeat? I think I heard what the purpose for the raise was in debt equity.
So what were you asking?
Oh, how is it going to be deployed? The
Yes.
1.
So the money, we have allocated exactly how we're going to utilize the money once we get it. We have a strong plan in place, and that is a divide of marketing, heavy into marketing, because as we know, without marketing, you're not getting eyes to. And also from a retail perspective, they really are requesting and requiring you to have some marketing spend. That also goes to man and women hires as well, to bring people in. I was going to say manpower, but it's men and women that we're bringing on equally. So a majority of that also is to bring on somebody to head up marketing, to really be able to help build out sales for us. Then the rest of it is allocated towards product development and research. We have a couple of products, as I mentioned, that we want to launch, including dissolvable tablets and capsules and a couple additional transfers. So that's where the money would be allocated towards.
Thank you.
Do we have any other questions from our panel? No. Davina, is there anything else that you would like to elaborate on?
No, I think we cover things. I'm excited about the growth and opportunity that Element Apothec has, because we really have put ourselves in a unique position to, like I said, not only really create these products that have been proven functionally to really be able to help people, whether it be improving the quality of their skin for skin health, whether it be supporting stressful days and more restful nights, or helping to relieve discomfort that they have and providing relief. Through this UCLA study that we did, we were really able to understand better the consumer and how our consumers feel about the products and the successes that they've had. So I'm excited about and optimistic about what's ahead for us. It does, though, it will require us to have some capital to really be able to meet the goals that we have and really be able to get these products, this research and this education out there to more people. So I'm excited. I'm hopeful for the opportunity to speak with more investors and share in the success and the growth that Element Apothec has ahead of it.
Thank you, Davina, so much for joining us today and presenting Element Apothec. We appreciate you. And I just want to tell the viewers, investors out there that this is a fantastic team. I have utilized many of their products and I absolutely love them. Please check out Davina at Element Apothec. Where can they reach you at?
Yeah, so we have our website, elementapothec.com. I'm active on LinkedIn, so that's a good place to chat, although messages sometimes get lost on LinkedIn with so many marketing messages, or Davina at elementapothec.com. That's a Davina at elementapothec.com is probably the best and most direct way to reach me.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much again. And that concludes our episode. Alan, would you mind saying a prayer to close out?
Sure, absolutely. Let's close up in a word of prayer. Heavenly gracious Father, Lord, thank you so much for another wonderful week in the CryptoCannaVerse Show. Thank you for Davina with Apothec Elements coming on to our show to share about her passion, her purpose, and where the company is going. Lord, continue to watch over each and every one of us as we conduct our weekend, and pray that you protect us and continue to work through us to help each other grow, inspire, and to do all things that glorify you. And I pray all in Jesus' name.